Welcome everyone to the virtual college exploration for Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association of College Admission Counseling and StripeScan. Thanks for joining us this evening. My name is McKenna Herbst, and I'm the Assistant Director of Transfer Admission at North Central College in Naperville, and I will be facilitating today. I do have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions out to presenters at any time, and these will only be viewable by our presenters. Also, your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. Another thing to note is that this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org and take advantage of all of the helpful information regarding your college search. And lastly, the presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, IACAC.org, if you wish to go back and review it. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Gerald and I am an admission rep at College of DuPage. I am here with my three other colleagues, Stephanie Loconsol, Rio El Maria, and Elizabeth Gomez de la Casa. And we are going to give you an overview of what we offer at the College of DuPage, as well as answer any questions you may have as you begin your college search. I wanted to start by first going through a quick poll. So if you guys have your cell phones out, make sure that you are texting 37607 and text Ashley Gerald 237 to join our poll. What we want to know is what factors are most important to you when selecting a college. So if you could text 37607, text Ashley Gerald to that number, and we will wait for your responses. We'll give you about 30 seconds. Awesome. So I see a lot of answers rolling in that are around kind of the topics areas that we're going to discuss today. So a lot of questions about applying, a lot of questions about cost, financial aid, along with other extracurricular activities to be a part of. So all good questions that will be answered during the presentation. So we split up today's presentation to go through 4 different main areas at College of DuPage. So we're going to talk about degrees and certificate options, transfer partnerships, affordability, and resources and student life. Before we get started kind of in the meat of the presentation, I wanted to point out where we are located. So our main campus is located in Glen Ellen, but we also have 4 campus centers that are also located in DuPage County: the Addison Center, the Carroll Stream Center, the Naperville Center, and the Westmont Center. So there's many options for students to not only take classes at the main campus, but also to take classes at the 4 different campus centers. Obviously, this semester is a little bit different due to COVID. We are hosting some classes that are the hybrid version, and then some classes that are all online, and then some virtual classroom meetings. We should have a decision later this fall what we plan to do this spring, but as you know, the needle is ever turning in the era of COVID. So when we do resume all in-person classes, these centers will be a really great option for you to get started. So I wanted to highlight some of our degree and certificate options. So I think sometimes when you start at a community college, it can be a little bit overwhelming when you see all of the different options. So when I read 230 degree and certificate options, That can be a lot. So we try to split it up for students into 3 main categories. So the first category on the left is our Associate of Science, Associate of Arts, and our Associate of Engineering Science programs. Those programs are programs that are meant to, for students who are looking to transfer to a 4-year institution. There's a heavy focus on general coursework, and this is also where many of our undecided students will kind of fall under. It gives you the opportunity to knock off not only your English, your math, your history, those main general courses that you need, but it also gives you the opportunity to explore different options. Some common programs that students end up transferring to complete include biology, psychology, English, and business. On the right-hand side, we have our applied science degrees. These programs are geared to students looking to start directly after they finish their degree at COD into the workforce. So for these programs, there's less focus on general coursework and more emphasis on technical skills. There are options to transfer these degree to bachelor's degrees, which we will talk about later. But many of these programs, the terminal degree is the associate degree. So some of these programs include our automotive program, our culinary program, paralegal, welding, and this really is the hands-on experience meant to prepare you to go into the workforce. After we look at kind of those 2 main options, we are then going to focus on our nursing and health science options. Our nursing and health science programs include 40 unique programs. There's clinical experiences on and off campus, along with short-term degree options and associate degree options. So these short-term certificates could be a CNA, could be an EMT, for a student looking to gain experience in the healthcare setting. Many of these programs do require prerequisite courses that you will have to take prior to applying to, let's say, our nursing program or a sonography program, but these are really, really good options if you're looking to gain a career in the healthcare field. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rio to discuss our transfer partnerships.
Thank you, Ashley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rio. I'm one of the high school admission representatives. So with COD and our transfer partnerships, we are a part of the Illinois Articulation Initiative Act. This initiative was created many years ago, and it started off with community colleges and 4-year public schools. It has since expanded, and there's over 100 universities, public, private, and community colleges that are a part of this initiative. You'll also see the IAI distinction in most of the college catalogs in Illinois universities and community colleges. This is a great way for students to realize that the classes that they're taking at a community college like COD is exactly the same subject, but it might not be the same title at that 4-year universities at such as DePaul or Northern Illinois or ISU. On the same token, but for a nationwide network of options, transferology.com is a website that is highly encouraged and is very much used by many universities as their official transfer handbook. It is essentially the same idea. You'll be able to create an account, choose COD, select the 4-year university of your choice in a different state, and you will see the course equivalencies at the 4-year school, whether it be in New York, California, or Michigan, to what is exactly offered at College of DuPage. These are just some wonderful resources that we try to tell students about beforehand when they're looking into the transfer options with starting at a community college. Now, we do have people on hand that will be able to serve you and help you along the way. Every semester, it is highly encouraged to meet with someone from our counseling and advising staff. They are there to help students create their student academic plans, and they will be able to help dictate the classes that are best to take while they're at COD, whether it be their general education courses or their introductory courses into their major. COD is one of the largest community colleges in the entire nation. We even get representatives from all across the country to come visit the campus to make sure students' schedules are matching exactly to what will transfer to their schools. So other unique programs and partnerships that are special to College of DuPage can actually be started as early as your high school years. Early admissions is an opportunity for you to take classes, whether you are a sophomore, junior, or rising senior, to take classes at College of DuPage that will start a college transcript. This does require an extra interview and making sure you meet the prerequisites, but this is a great way to get ahead and take some general education courses while still completing your high school diploma. Some students will take College of DuPage and get their Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, or Associate of Engineering Science. And there are universities that will take those classes and make it be and have it be part of their guaranteed admission transfer partnership. Some of the very popular programs that we have include our guaranteed admission transfer partnership with Northern, UIC, IIT, just to name a few. This is something where you can start at COD, not sure exactly where you want to end up and get your bachelor's degree from, but knowing that the 2 years within your associate's degrees will be transferable to a 4-year university. Honors program partnerships is where students can take general education courses at the honors level. This is going to allow them to have a distinct honor of showing that they took general education courses at a higher caliber and higher rigor, and allow them to be seen and potentially receive scholarships at participating universities that provide honors scholarships for students that graduate with that honors distinction. Engineering Pathways is specific to students who want to go to University of Illinois Granger College of Engineering. This is a program that students do have to apply as a senior. The application opens up on U of I's website in December, with early decision deadline at January 1st. The final deadline will be in April 15th. And this is where students, if they are accepted as an incoming freshman, will be guaranteed transfer in the College of Engineering at U of I for their junior year. Lastly, our 3+1 programs allow students to take 3 years of coursework at COD and at COD's tuition. And within our 6 partner universities that are part of 3+1, have those universities send their faculty onto our campus or offer the classes as an online option. What is really great about the 3+1 program is not only is it a wonderful partnership and a testament to show students that they are able to take classes that will land a bachelor's degree at a university, but the cost savings can be tremendous. Almost over $100,000 will be saved for students that participate in the 3+1 program.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. I'm also a high school admission representative, and we now want to cover a little bit of just the finance talk. How much does it cost? How does it work? And so the first slide you'll see is a tuition comparison between College of DuPage and one of the most affordable public 4-year universities. You'll notice that it has a tuition breakdown, housing, parking, and other expenses. And where 1 year at College of DuPage could cost a total of about $5,700 per academic year, and the most affordable public university might cost around $28,000. College of DuPage is a community college, and so we don't have housing on campus. Our parking is free, but we do also want to make sure that while we're talking about tuition and cost, you are also keeping in mind other expenses, like books. So tuition is broken down by in-district or out-of-district. If you live within District 502, our tuition is $138 per credit hour. Students and families that live outside of the district, our tuition is $325 per credit hour. I think this is really important for students and families to understand that the reason why community colleges are affordable and the reason why it's open enrollment is because for those of you who live in our district, you have already invested a portion of your tax dollars into College of DuPage. The second column breaks down tuition. We broke it down just to give you an example and an idea of how much it would cost if you were taking one class at College of DuPage, how much would it cost for one semester, and how much it would cost for 1 year, just tuition. So if we're looking at just a general class, we took psychology as the example. Psychology is a 3 credit hour class. You would multiply 3 credit hours times 138. For in-district tuition, that one class would cost $414. College is like a job. You can be attending full-time or part-time. And so for a student taking full-time classes, that's about 4 or 5 classes, 15 credit hours. You would multiply 138 times 15. One semester would cost about $2,070. And there's 2 semesters per academic year, the fall and the spring semester. So if you're enrolled full-time both semesters, taking about 15 credit hours each semester, the total cost for the academic year would be about $4,140. So now let's talk about options of what options you have to pay for tuition. First and foremost, College of DuPage has lots of scholarships. I think it's just important for students to actually apply. So at College of DuPage, these are scholarships that are for College of DuPage students. There are scholarships based on ethnicity, field of study, volunteer services, and leadership. We also have a scholarship, one of our most popular scholarships for high school graduates, recent high school graduates, is called our Scholars Award Program. This is for students that have a high academic GPA, minimum of a 3.5 on a 4.0 scale, or a 4.37 on a 5.0 scale. These are the requirements for this year. So for those of you that are current seniors, every year the information gets updated online. For those of you who are early graduates and are graduating in December, scholarships are already posted. One of the tips that we high school admission representatives give our students is that some of you may already know for sure that your plan is to start off at College of DuPage, while others of you are still looking at other institutions. We encourage you to start your application, apply for scholarships. If you win a scholarship, we're still going to give you a deadline of when you would have to accept your scholarship by. So for example, students that apply for scholarships in January, students that are graduating in June, you can start applying for scholarships in January. If you win a scholarship, we're still going to give you past the May 1 deadline, national deadline. So just apply. The next option is a payment plan. I know that the text is really small, so you can't see the details, but the main highlight of a payment plan is that students that register early can extend the payment plan option. So a student that registers in May for classes that start in August would be able to put down a $10 deposit and then divide their tuition into 6 installments. Students that register a little later in the summer, maybe right before classes start, they still pay the same amount of tuition, but now they have less time to pay it. And there's a higher deposit. So for example, our students that enrolled a little bit later in the summer, say in August, early August, but right before classes started, they had to put down a 35% deposit and now only had 3 payments. So if your family knows that they're going to benefit from enrolling in a payment plan, always make sure you're registering early for classes. Let's talk a little bit about financial aid and financial aid options. So on the left-hand side, you'll see FAFSA. That's the free application for federal student aid. This application opens October 1. And this is, you apply for either FAFSA or the alternative application every year, every October 1. But this is the difference. The FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, students must be a US citizen or a permanent resident. The alternative application for Illinois is an application for eligible, undocumented, and transgender students. For both applications, they're very similar as far as what information it's asking you and your family to include. So it's going to ask for tax information, household size, other questions that will determine your eligibility. Now, one question that we often get for students is what are the requirements? And it's important for you to know that once you apply for financial aid, you do have to maintain good academic standing to maintain your financial aid. Remember, every year you should apply for either the FAFSA or the alternative application for financial aid.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I'm also a high school admissions rep. I'm going to be wrapping up our presentation today by going over the resources and student life opportunities that we offer at College of DuPage. As you can see, our campus offers many different areas that help our students both in and outside of the classroom. In green is going to be the name of each of the areas that we offer, and then below is going to be the different services that that area provides. Our Learning Commons provides free tutoring services to our students, both at the main campus, at our centers, and online as well. You can receive help with placement test prep, as well as help in your classes. One thing to keep in mind with the Learning Commons is they're really there to help you grow as a student. They're not there to proofread your papers or check for spelling errors. They're really trying to help you grow and learn as a college student. Our Center for Access and Accommodations is available for students that had an IEP or a 504 plan in high school and are looking to receive accommodations in the classroom at COD. One thing to keep in mind is students have to self-identify or advocate for themselves, meaning the student has to ask for the accommodations from this office. It cannot be their parent or their high school counselor. Another thing to keep in mind with high school, sometimes the classes might be modified for students with IEPs or 504s, and in college, the classes are not modified. So while we may give you extended time on testing or a private space to complete your test, you will still need to complete assignments when the rest of the class has to complete those. Our Career Services Office provides help with finding a job, career support, sitting down and having a mock interview. They also offer career assessments if you're not sure what maybe career you'd like to go into. They have a lot of different exploratory options, both in the class and workshop settings. Our Counseling and Advising Services area provides both academic and mental health counseling. It's really important to utilize this office whenever you see fit. We really recommend using our academic advisors for course planning, especially if you're looking to transfer to another school after College of DuPage. Lastly, our Transfer Services Office is another support area for our transfer students. They host college fairs. Currently, they're doing a lot of different virtual opportunities for students to connect with the college admissions reps at the four-year level. It's really important at the college level, no matter where you go, to get some type of student involvement outside of the classroom as well. We've got 3 different areas that we're going to touch on today. Student organizations. We have over 60 different clubs and organizations on our campus. They cover a lot of different areas, so they can be academic or pre-professional clubs to help you in your area of study. Recreation, if you like intramural sports or just getting out there and doing some fun things. Cultural and ethnic clubs and political and social clubs as well. We also, along with getting involved, student job opportunities are available on our campus. The photo that is very small in that student organization section is a photo of our student ambassadors. They work with our office. They are graduates from all of the different high schools in our district, and they help the admissions office with campus tours, presentations, and some of them are actually on this video right now. So if anyone has any specific questions about the Student Ambassador Program, feel free to type that into the Q&A. Field studies and study abroad. College of DuPage is the #1 rated study abroad program for community colleges in the country. So although we're not traveling right now because of COVID, we will be traveling again someday, and we offer a lot of different types of study abroad trips. They can be short, a week or two, they can be for a summer or even a full semester abroad. Lastly, we have 15 National Junior College Division III sports teams on our campus. And although being a community college, we cannot offer athletic scholarships, we do help our athletes with transferring to other colleges in the hopes that they get recruited on and are able to play after leaving College of DuPage. We wanted to show you our enrollment checklist for our new students at College of DuPage, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what your steps are for enrolling. Our application did open today for those of you planning to start a year from now, fall 2021. One of the questions was, when is our deadline to apply? And we don't have a deadline to apply. College of DuPage is an open access institution. We accept all students regardless of your GPA or your ACT or SAT scores. Everyone is accepted to COD. We have some suggested timelines for when you should apply. And if you'd like us to send you a copy of this, feel free to email your admissions rep. And we'll go on to our next slide and kind of show you all of us. So as you can see, we have all 4 of us listed with our email contacts, as well as the high schools that we are a part of. You can access this information on our website as well. And if you're interested in attending any future visits, you can go to www.cod.edu/visit, and this will allow you to see all our other visit opportunities that we have coming up virtually for this semester. So now we're going to take a look at some of the questions that you have all sent in to us.
While you look at questions, I just want to bring up a couple of things. I am, again, my name is Elizabeth. I am the Spanish speaker of the office. So while Stephanie is correct, you can find who exactly is your admission representative. I know that sometimes students and their families want to meet with someone that speaks Spanish. Feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'm happy to help you. There's also some Spanish information sessions that are posted on our website at www.cod/visit. Let me repeat that, www.cod/visit.
So one of the questions we have was, what are the FAFSA deadlines for COD? So for those of you planning to start taking classes in the fall 2021 semester, the FAFSA will open for you, and the alternative application for Illinois financial aid. Those will both be open October 1st. And while there's not necessarily a deadline for FAFSA, it is important that you fill that out as soon as possible, because there are grants that do run out of money. So the earlier you apply, if you do qualify for one of those grants, it's like you're getting your spot in the line. Those grants, specifically the MAP grant for Illinois residents that go to Illinois colleges, that does tend to run out in the spring. So please get your financial aid in as soon as you can. Another question that we have is, what is a typical class size at COD? Does anyone want to follow up on that one?
I'll go ahead, yeah. So the typical class size at COD tends to be about 20 students per class. So when we're looking at kind of the way classes are being offered right now due to COVID, those numbers are still very similar, even though you're doing your classes virtually. It allows for more one-on-one time with the faculty members, allows for more interactions in the class. Currently, we have virtual classroom meetings where students are meeting live at a certain time every single week. We also have online classes, which is a little bit more self-paced. And then we do have some hybrid options as well for some of those classes that truly cannot be done at home. So like our automotive classes or our culinary classes, a lot of those courses are being taught on campus. And then, like I said, for the spring semester, we're still kind of looking at what our options are moving forward. But in total, no matter whether you're going in person, whether you're going online, those classes usually are about 20 to 25 students per class.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about class formats. I know that for specifically students, if you're early grads and you're wanting to know a little bit about what our class is going to be like in the spring, I know it was already mentioned that once we have a formal decision, it'll be posted online. But we do have 3 different class formats that we ran this fall. And if due to COVID, we are still on the same plan for spring, these will be your 3 options. There will be limited classes that have a hybrid option where some of the portion of the class is online, but students do have in-class, in-person sessions. These classes are typically courses that require some sort of lab components, or our culinary, automotive, chemistry classes. Then we have 2 different formats of online classes. So when we say online, one format could be where it does not have a designated day or time that you have to be logged on. The professors will post everything online and you are doing your work at your own time as long as you meet the deadline. And then we have what are called VCM, virtual classroom meetings, where we're really trying to replicate a real in-person classroom. Class will be at a specific day, at a specific time, where your professor will be live and you'll log on into class. So those are the 3 formats that students have an option for taking classes this fall semester. And once the decision is made for spring, it may be very similar.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. We had another question, a little more specific, but how are the communications such as media and journalism? What are those classes like? Rio, did you want to touch on that?
Yes, as a former communications major, I felt, pretty closely related to those questions. At COD, we do have a program of mass communications. And as I mentioned in my part of the presentation, our classes in our mass communications are also IAI distincted. So these classes have met the same sort of requirements for a university journalism major or mass communications major. You can see that in our course catalog. So the types of classes that you'll see will be intro to journalism, even learning a little bit more about editing. Those are classes that you can take at College of DuPage. So we have really great connections with universities that are really big with journalism and communications. Schools like Columbia College in Chicago. I've known of students to transfer to Mizzou. And that's a huge journalism school. So we definitely prepare students and provide them the classes and also the experiences for students that want to go into media and journalism. I'm just going to go ahead and answer. Also, it looks like it came from the same student. The types of clubs and organizations. Well, there are about 80 clubs and organizations, and every year you can find a club that meets your goals and your interests. So there are opportunities that you can find. You could even see it online by going to our student organization portion of our website and see the different clubs and organizations that we offer. At this time, I can't mention the names. I can't recall off the top of my head a specific journalism class, but I do know our MCOM students are very involved. Every year there's a portfolio night where students are able to show their work and showcase it for other students and for the public. So the students will find that the faculty are very involved and will offer opportunities for students to gain experience and showcase their talents in different
Thank you, Rio. Students can also find a list of our student organizations on our website. And again, if you are having trouble navigating the website at all, you can always reach out to your admissions rep and we can help you find what you're looking for. Another question, kind of similar, was will filmmaking fall under the Associate of Arts degree? Ashley, did you want to follow up with that one?
Sure. So yes, so there's a couple different options for filmmaking. So with a student that is looking to earn a bachelor's degree, some students will do the Associate of Arts program because it allows them to kind of knock off those general education requirements. And then when they transfer to a four-year institution, that's kind of when you'll focus more on that filmmaking portion of the degree. So that's one option. But we also have some students that will do our applied science degree in MPTV, which is our other filmmaking arm of the college in terms of academic programming. This is where there's really specific filmmaking courses, and we do have some partnerships within that program that would allow you to transfer to a four-year university to earn a bachelor's degree. However, what we always tell students is you really want to make sure you're working with your advisor, your counselor and advisor from the very beginning, because there's a lot of times where if you have a really, really specific program you're looking to go into, we want to make sure that you're knocking off those classes that are really specific to that program. If you don't have a specific program and you're looking to do more of just your generals and kind of explore, that's when you do more of the Associate of Arts, because it opens up more doors in terms of transfer.
Thank you, Ashley. So we've got a couple different questions that kind of go along the lines of applying, enrolling, and what students need to submit. You can apply to COD online, and as we mentioned, we are an open enrollment institution, which means we have a rolling application. We're always taking applications. There's never a time where you cannot apply for either maybe the current semester or future semesters. Elizabeth was discussing our different class formats. At College of DuPage, we offer 16-week, 12-week, and 8-week classes. So if you find yourself in a position where you can't start for the 16-week classes, just keep in mind that it doesn't mean the semester's a total loss. You can potentially look to start at our 12-week, which are about a month into the semester, and then our second 8-week classes, which are halfway through our 16-week semester. We do not require recommendation letters for applying. Again, everyone is accepted. Most of our scholarships do not require a recommendation letter, but just make sure when you're applying for scholarships that you do read the requirements thoroughly, as there may be one that requires a letter of recommendation. And then the last question is in terms of how do you submit a transcript? So typically, if you're a current high school student, you would let either your high school counselor or maybe the receptionist in the College and Career Center to submit a transcript for you to College of DuPage. We would need it to be an official transcript. And it's really however your high school chooses to send that. Some schools use parchment. There could be a variety of different ways that they send that. The transcripts do end up at our records office. So the records office looks at that information and puts it into our system. One thing to keep in mind is we're looking for the final transcript from once you've graduated, because to receive financial aid, we do need proof that you've graduated high school. You can always send us a transcript when you apply if you'd like, but just make sure you also send us one once you've graduated high school or completed your GED if that's what you're completing right now. We've got about 5 minutes left in the session if anyone has any additional questions they'd like to ask. If any of the reps want to touch on anything, we've got a few more minutes.
I would just like to add, make sure to check your calendars. Stephanie, Elizabeth, and we are on the road, you know, for lack of a better term. We are doing virtual high school visits, workshops within your Naviance or high school rep calendars. Ashley is also going to be hosting some of our information sessions that all of us will be providing over the course of the semester. You'll find them on Saturdays. You'll find them some weekdays in the evening and afternoons. So if you feel like you want more questions, if you want to tell your friends, make sure to check out our calendars at COD's website as well as your high school website.
I also just want to send out a reminder, as you start filling out your College of DuPage application, students, please make sure you're using your personal email account. We encourage you to slow down, right? Make sure that you are filling in every information correctly, making sure you're spelling your email correctly. Please do not use your high school email account or your parent email account. This is the email address that you provide on your application is where we are going to be emailing you the next steps, as well as important information that you will need to have access to. So please use your personal email address.
Awesome. We did get another question asking if we are planning to do another IACAC virtual Zoom through the college exploration. At this time, we're not signed up to do another one. We may, so just be sure to check the IACAC website for some future months that they're looking to do this. And as the other reps have mentioned, on our visit page, we have a lot of different visit opportunities coming up. We are going to be hosting our junior senior night in October. We will be having some information workshops, next step workshops in November and December. And our next step workshops are going to be for students that have already applied to College of DuPage and are looking for help with that checklist that we went over. So, you know, how to set up your accounts, what placement testing looks like. If you're still wanting some further information about the college, junior senior night's a great opportunity to hear from different areas that we have on campus, financial aid, counseling, and advising.
It is slated to be held October 22nd for COD's junior senior night. Again, please get the most up-to-date dates and times on the COD website, cod.edu/visit.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And I think here we go.
Hi again, everyone. Yes, thank you to our presenters for providing such great and valuable information for our students. Your time is very informative and we really appreciate it. So thank you also to our students for coming. And when you do close this window, there will be a really brief 4-question survey. So if you could fill that out, we would really appreciate it for any helpful feedback that you may be able to provide. Also, as a reminder, we do have many more sessions coming up. So log on to www.iacac.org to view those more sessions coming up. And then as another reminder, we do have this recording available for you. It will be ready in about a week or so on that same website, www.iacac.org. Thank you so much and enjoy your evening.